All right. Good deal. We are live. And yeah, everybody's here. I'm just wanted to start off. I was following the chat a little bit, and Katie, we're so sorry about your kitty. Um, we know what that is. A lot of us here do. So we'll gather around and we'll say some prayers for you and for your friend. I can appreciate that too because I have a friend who has cancer as well, and
Right, and I lost my mom to cancer.
yeah. So we'll gather together in spirit and we'll say some prayers for everyone.
Lots of love.
Yeah. And it's been kind of a long, tough week, for all of us. So um I'm glad we're here. This is what I've been looking forward to, all day. So um tonight we're honoring Isis, aka Aset, who goes forth in joy, and her son Horus. And I happen to have I've got a small papyrus plant out in the back. It's funny, if you go shopping for papyrus, there are a lot of things that say they're giant papyrus, the kind that'll get to be like taller than you are, but I think a lot of them aren't. They just copy and paste, sell an item like this, and so it's not really. But either way, this is a legitimate papyrus, and so I kind of put it in Isis's place, and it's kind of harking back to the idea of the Isis and Horus hiding in the marshes of Chemis, which is a place in the Nile Delta. And so after Isis had conceived Horus, she, went into hiding in the marshes of the Delta, gave birth to Horus and raised him in secret, in the marshes. I guess it would be sort of like, the back bayous in Louisiana, that sort of place. Ah,
Oh man, that sucked.
yeah. Okay. Have we got two other people on right now, or
I don't know.
because okay, no, that's just one. I'm just seeing table. Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think Indiana liked that either. She's in her pool. We gave her a fresh pool and tried to bribe her with treats. So
It worked.
yeah, it seemed to work, but yeah, she didn't like the feedback. So anyway, but yeah, so we're honoring them. We honored Osiris last week and Sobek, and now we're honoring Isis, and Horus. So, and next week we will be honoring Bast, so leading up to the Opet festival, which will be right after Labor Day. So. Mm. Okay, Astiarius, I have a question. How do I talk to Anubis? I really tried, but can't seem to figure it out. Um, um,
Bark Morris code. It works.
everyone has their own way of connecting with, divinities, and it's don't be looking for the you know bullhorn Cecil B. DeMille kind of thing. It's it may be as simple as just you might see things uh left around that are like kind of like they left you a little sign, a little calling card. um and you can ask other folks that are devotees of Anubis. I worked with him early on. He was actually the first statue that I bought, all the way over here at the end. um and that was my very first Egyptian statue. um and so it could be just things that you happen across, or things that you see in dreams, or you might get kind of a sense. And that's why I'm a video that I'm working on. I did some taping over the week, but one thing that I'm going to talk about is how to is if you're an absolute beginner, um, what do you do? But to kind of preview that a little bit, just of course, keep reading and learning, but also balance that with time to unplug and just kind of make some quiet space, and you will figure out your own way. And Anubis may talk to you in a way that's different from anybody else, but you just learn to kind of still your mind a little bit and be a little more aware, and you'll pick things up, and eventually you'll figure out that's him. So let's see if we can make a nice quiet space in the form of ritual where maybe you can kind of jumpstart that process. So let's see. Yes. And you know what? Offering cattails as a local form of marsh plants is absolutely a great idea. And I would, I have thought about doing that myself, getting cattails to set up, for some kind of a display. The only thing is, especially down here, cattails that they grow in wet areas, you have to be careful because other things like to hang out in wet areas, especially, in the warm season like right now.
Yeah.
So, wear heavy boots or something like that. Keep a stick, so you don't run into any, problem critters.
Yeah.
So
Also known as snakes.
Yeah, well, snakes or snapping turtles or whatever,
Yeah, because
So.
y'all snapping turtles ain't no fun.
No.
They mean as hell.
And actually, turtles were another creature that was associated with the evil one.
Yeah, I had
turtles are an anathema to Ra, so he would not be fond of Ninja Turtles.
I had a run in with a snapping turtle once and thought, I'll block it with the chair. Well, I did. To my surprise, once they got him to let go.
What, of the chair?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and this chair was made of basically light grade metal, not aluminum at that point.
Like some other kind of metal?
Yeah, it was heavier.
Oh, well.
Early 80s.
Okay, but it bent it.
It bent the metal. I'm like, it's a turtle, and it bent metal.
Wow. Yeah, don't mess with those things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get you back up just a hair. Since we have bribe. Yeah, in Indiana has been doing pretty well. She's gotten lots of treats as bribes. Darren has figured out today that don't open a Ziploc bag of any kind around her. She will think you have something for her.
Because she will walk up to you like, hey, that's for me, right?
Yeah.
Gangster. Totally.
Because apparently she did that while I was out running errands. So. Okay. These cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me as Tefnut purifies me. Hail unto you, O Ignatius. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands. Our purity is within our hearts. Are you having it up? We've cast out all evil that pertains to us. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. I guess Darren will be stepping out for a moment.
Yeah.
Please come back.
I promise I will. I'll even be lighter.
I guess that's Indiana laughing in the background.
Yeah, she probably knows what's going on.
Well, she can swim in cold water and it's no problem.
Yeah.
Although, she doesn't have to swim in ice cold water anymore, but she has done it before.
Oh, yeah.
I have pictures of her, in a pool with ice in it.
And she don't care.
Well,
she didn't then. She might
right
now.
Yeah, probably now. Well, this was like 10 years ago. She was a lot more spry. She was a spring duck.
Ice bucket challenge, duck style.
Well, no, this was just they lived outside and there was an ice storm coming in, and so it was already cold enough that there was a little bit of ice forming in the pool, but she was in there swimming. I've got a picture of her. At that point in time, she didn't mind. Okay. Tell you what, let's use this one. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come, oh come in peace. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra in all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world. To everyone who is tuning in with us now and has been with us in the past and will be joining us in the future. This eye of Horus comes, and we are all purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
And we'll light our candle for Mama Sekhmet. She may bring peace and healing to all those who need it. And be with Katie when she has her surgery next week. And our adopted son Aiden when he has his surgery on the 2nd. And we light our candle for Mahas, that he may continue to protect all those who are in the path of storms. You arise in the Akatis Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from Nun at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and hail and praise unto you, O Aset the great, Horus, son of Isis. O Yunachuru, you lords of love and lords of life, grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness, and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at, cast out as Fet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us, and your strength being within us. Take these, your cool waters that are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Oyanachuru. These cool waters are the eye of Horus. Your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, Oyanachuru. You may be purified with it. We give you incense. Give you incense great of purity. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you and cleanses you. It adorns you and takes its place upon your hands. Oyanachuru, we give to you this eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, Oyanachuru. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. The gardens prosper, Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine. O Ra, O Aset, O Horu, O Yanachuru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Okay? Pure, pure is Ra Horketi within his house. Pure, pure is Aset, the great, within her house. Horus, son of Isis, within his house. Pure are the cause of all of these gods, with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra Horketi, Aset, and Horu, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horketi. Come to your body, O Aset, O Horu. Come to your bodies, O Yanachuru, and come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Lift the offerings before these gods. Raise the offerings before Ra, before Aset, before Horu. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. Ora Horketi, and your son, the Osur Nisu Nebkapura. Your foes retreat from you. And Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. Nope. I think they want me to use this one too. So that's another little thing right there. Just sometimes chance happenings are not so chance. It's that somebody intended for that. So since someone had asked about learning to communicate with deities, sometimes they give you little signs that seem like happenstance until you pay closer attention. But from the table of the gods to the table of the blessed dead, we light this candle that it may be the eye of Horus that lights their way into art. Here, come on. All right, what's going on is I'm seeing it through the glass, and that basic science, it kind of refracts it, so I'm probably not hitting the wick. There we go. That got it. And we pour these cool waters from the table of Osiris, that their hearts may be refreshed. Porehruta henket kakao abdus nashrimahat. Goed nabet nafre waberang had nashrim. Cow and akupunibu. Maharunibu hiranachra. A voice offering of bread and beer. 1,000 of beef and fowl. Incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a god lives. For the cause of all of these blessed dead. All true of voice before the great God. What fell?
Nothing.
Okay, it just sounded like something had. And now we come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your Ka shall live. Truly, your Aeneid has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Aeneid says unto you, your word is law, eternally. This fet is cast out by your word, and rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. And may we always act with gentility and compassion, for such is the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such is the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such is the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such is the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such is the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, for such is the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such is the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such is the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. All right. A couple of things that we can read for Aset and for Horus. Let's see. There we go. Horus has arisen as ruler. Achujasanem. The Aeneid is in festivity, and heaven is in joy. They have put on garlands, now that they have seen Horus Aset, arisen as king of every land. The hearts of the Aeneid are content. The entire land is in festival, now that they have seen Horus, the son of Isis, assume the crown of his father Osiris. And this is a praise that Isis gives of her son Horus. Wait a minute, so there we go. Just remember your alphabetical order, boys and girls. Isis the Great, the mother of God, Lady of Philae, God's wife, God's adorer, God's hand, mother of the god, the great queen, the adornment, the lady of ornaments of the shrine, lady and desire of the green fields, nursling who fills the shrine with her beauty, fragrance of the shrine, mistress of joy who runs her course in the sacred place, rain cloud that greens the fields when she descends, maiden, sweet of love, mistress of Upper and Lower Egypt, who issues orders among the Aeneid, princess, great of praise, lady of charm, whose face loves the trickle of fresh myrrh. She is the one who pours out the inundation, which makes all people live and green plants grow, who provides sacred offerings for the gods and voice offerings for the Ach spirits, because she is Lady of Heaven. Her husband is Lord of Duat, and her son is Lord of the land. Her husband is the pure water, renewing himself at Biga at his time. She is Lady of Heaven, Earth, and Duat, having brought them into being through what her heart conceived and her hands created. She is the Ba which is in every city, watching over her son Horus and her brother Osiris. Okay, I'm going to check the chat real quick. Let's see. Okay, Serrano wanted to know if I can have prayers for my aunt who passed and friends of the family who have recently passed. And yes, Google doesn't have any good emojis for us. But oh, and Gabriel, hey guys, long time no see. It's good to see you again. And we need to say some prayers and share some good cheer. And Mary Ross, does the book on Kemetic ethics have essays about what each of the mots mean? Well, what I have is, and I happen to have one of these over here. I did break down the actual declarations of innocence, and there's a short thing on what each of them means, and that's for like all 42. So yeah, if you get this, then it has all of them, and of course the 8 mods that we read here, that's taking all of that and kind of condensing it, and 8 is another powerful number, you know, because you had the eight, of the primeval times, and Chemnu, the town that Jehuti was, considered, lord of. It means eight town, so it was, connected with the idea of, four primeval beings, um, four male and four female, and out of that pair you had Amun and Amunet, and they were the ones that broke sort of the gridlock within Noon that allowed creation to come into being. And there's also a connection with that and with Montu. I've been doing some research on him because next month there's a feast of Montu coming up, and there's very little out there for him. That took some real digging, but because there were the four is also significant with Montu as well, and that they linked that to the idea of the eight. The Greek name is Ogdoad, but it means the primeval eight. So that's why you have eight Ma'ats, but it's kind of a condensing of the sort of almost like what Carlin did when he took the Ten Commandments and then whittled it down to
like four
of them, and and like the first one was don't be a
yeah. I think the last one was
commandment number 1: don't be a douche.
Yes, don't be a douche.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I tell you what, let's say some prayers because, we have some folks. I know there have been some folks that have been looking for work, and we have some folks who are grieving right now because they've lost fur babies, and folks who have loved ones who are sick, and it's just a really tough time right now for everyone. Something else that I've been reading about recently, and it's funny because we're honoring Isis and Horus. Osiris had had taken on a title in the late period. See if I can remember the Egyptian for it was Shabiad, if I remember right. But it's he answers the afflicted. So this was a title, an aspect for Osiris specifically, as the one who hearkens to and who answers those who are suffering. And this title was used, and he was addressed in that way in chapels that were commissioned by the gods' wives of Amun. That you had one who was Libyan, two who were Nubian, and then two who were Sate. So that was in the 25th and 26th dynasty. But so I'm reading about the history behind that. But it's interesting to me that you had this aspect of Osiris specifically as the one who answers the afflicted, who answers those who are in distress. And so maybe that's his way of telling us to ask him, those who are struggling with money, who are grieving because they have lost loved ones and they're now in Osiris's kingdom. We ask him to take them in and maybe to give us all a sign that things are well with them and that we have nothing to fear and that we can have some peace in our hearts for those that have flown west, and to keep sharing love and connection with each other, because that's what this life is for. So let's say a couple more prayers. Anyway. So we ask Aset, the mother of the god, and Horus, the son of Isis, and Osiris, who hears the afflicted, May you grant life, prosperity, and health, alertness, favors, and affection. May our eyes see you every day as righteous ones who set you in our hearts. Supply our needs of bread and drink, and guard our mouths in speaking. Come to us and give us counsel and comfort. Make us heedful of your wisdom. When one appeals to you, you come from afar. Lend your ears to the lonely and the poor. May you give breath to those who are wretched, and bread to those who have none. Guardians of the weak, may you set the oppressed free, and let your blessings surpass all wealth. Okay. And I'm happy to take any other prayer requests. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, do I host visitors to the temple? Well, it's a back bedroom in our house. So I can't. I mean, if we had a space where we could really do that, we'd love to. But that's ongoing. But you're visiting and you're participating, virtually with us right now.
Sometime in the future, we hope to be able to host others.
Yeah. In the future, in good time. For right now, this is our space, and we'll build on that as we can. Yeah, we don't have an in real life temple yet. But once we do, yes, that would we certainly love to have people come and visit. So, because I'm don't like the idea of keeping something secret and off limits, and only if you're in the know. No, that's not what we do. If you can't explain simply to anybody what it is that we're doing, then you need to kind of rethink what it is that you're doing. Now, by the way, it's funny. I did get a comment earlier this week on one of our shorts. Apparently, those are the shorts that I did a couple of weeks ago. Have been getting some hits, including somebody who thought why are you bringing back the worship of evil spirits, because the ancient Egyptian gods demanded human sacrifice. And I'm like, I didn't include this in my answer, but what's funny is when you think about it, there are more references to human sacrifice in the Old Testament than there are in Egyptian religious literature. Yes, there's a whole bunch of them in the Old Testament. What was the whole thing with Abraham and his son Isaac? Oh, I know it's not the only one, but yeah, that's like the first one. And that's actually the holiday of Eid al-Adha. That's the salty Eid. So because you have the sweet Eid and the salty Eid, is what they call it. But Eid al-Adha is celebrating that Abraham nearly sacrificing his son Isaac, but of course, the angel of God stops him and gives him a what was it, a ram or something in its place.
Yes.
They find some, so and their interpretation is well, you were so unquestioning in your faith that you were willing to sacrifice your only son, so here you passed the test.
And that's how we got one of the greatest advertising slogans in history.
Which is what?
Guts, glory, ram. I'll be here all week.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the story behind Eid al-Adha. And so what they do, that's the one where they'll go and they'll get like, a big side of, halal meat, and, have a it's their equivalent of a barbecue holiday.
I've never been invited to one of those.
Well,
I'd like to.
Well, schmooze with Brother Khan, and you probably could, but
I'm afraid I'd have to make some hideous deal involving you.
No, but it just that's a whole other thing. But the guy, the chaplain that represents the Muslim community when we do like World Religion Day and stuff like that. He's quite the character. You get a hug from him and you smell like his cologne for several hours afterwards. But yeah, but either way, so yeah, that's it. I thought it was kind of funny that I got a comment like that on one of the shorts, but at the same time though, bothering to answer the question, because even if the person who asked it is not game for an answer, somebody else might be. So for their benefit, I answer it seriously. So. All right, request for Discord cookies. Awesome. All right, and B would like to pray for my partner to pass their driving exam tomorrow. Awesome. Yes, and Jephthah's daughter was actually sacrificed. Yeah.
It used to take 2 hours, and now it takes all day.
What?
It took me 15 hours to get to LA. It's a verse from I Can't Drive 55.
Oh. Well, yeah. Okay. So, because the prayers for the driving exam. Well, you know what? Let us ask Neat and Upwotes, the openers of the way, to guide B's partner, and let them have sound judgment. And remember, even if you just barely pass, still it gives you your license. Here's the funny thing. When I got my license way back in 1996, I barely passed that driving exam. I aced the written one because that was easy. But the thing is, my mother, who was a terrible driver and had taught me terrible habits, that's all I knew. And so I barely passed, but hey, I still passed. Then I got behind the wheel with Darren. And it really helps when you have somebody sane riding shotgun with you and not somebody trying to be a backseat driver. And you shared a lot of wisdom from your dad, who is a cross-country truck driver, and a lot of things that it's like, well, you want to do this and this and this. And not to toot my own horn, but I'm a better driver now than anybody else in my family.
She's a rock-solid driver. She's the best driver alive that I know of.
Well, certainly better than anybody else in my family.
Oh God! Look, I can't drive, and I drive better than they do.
Well, it's just the thing is that you get behind the wheel with any of my male kin, and you want to like climb out of a window as fast as you can because they're kind of crazy. I have a story about that. But I know we've got cookies. Say what?
It took Ozzy Osbourne until he was 60 to get his license.
Well, that makes 60? Me feel a little better because I'm 51 and don't have mine.
Hey, man, we still got
43 and I don't have mine either.
And yeah, I still remember our dear Mama Chan getting behind the wheel with her. Or actually, the thing is, because she did not drive for 20 plus years because she had gotten into an accident. That wasn't her fault, but was terrified, and as she put it, and I'm doing this because I love her and I miss her, and to hear how she would say things, she would explain, I touch you, freeze up, she touched the wheel and freeze up and not want to do anything. So I was the one that would sit, a lot of times, because her kids were all grown and had jobs and families and everything. So we're in a Section 8 apartment. With her, so Darren and I are unemployed. So what else have we got to do all night? So we got behind the wheel with her.
That was all day. That was during the day. That time.
Well, now there's that other time at night. When she kind of like was having to try and back out and not take out that newspaper stand, and then you imitated a siren and scared the heck out of her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
we passed up a house with a parked police
car, and so you
woo.
You scared Mama Chan half to death. You bad boy. She was crying and laughing. But yeah, so
no tea for you.
Yeah. So we were doing that with her, so she could get used to driving again. So May all of that mojo and all of that, experience, I'm sharing that so that your partner can have a successful time and, enjoy, having that license and being able to go drive, and may we get to a point where you can do it too. That's an interesting tidbit that Ozzy didn't get his until he was 60.
Well, it's not like he needed it. I mean, he could fly anywhere he wanted, including in his hotel room. He'd just take a few lines and off he'd go,
All right, I'm slowing the chat down so that I can pick up with the cookies and tell you what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I have this one here. This was the last cookie from last week, so I think this was meant to be, for tonight. And just a reminder, our cookies last week, we had 2. Trust in the support system you have built around you. And don't forget that life is an ever-evolving journey. So with that in mind, let's see what this is for everyone. So anyone who might be tuning in after the fact, catching us in syndication. Your educational journey will be full of surprises and unexpected twists. Your educational journey will be full of surprises and unexpected twists. May we learn something new every day. Because learning is a lifelong thing. I'm learning things, again, reading books, even though some of them are kind of dry right now. Trying to learn new things. So be open to that and be open to learning surprising new things. So let's since we got those Discord requests first up, let's kind of knock those out of the way, and then we'll go down and I'll do that. And by the way, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. We love you guys. All right, so Astra, San, Captain Lunar, and Dodek. So we'll start with them, and then we'll go down the chat. So the first one for Astra. All right, for Astra, action takes precedence over words. Action takes precedence over words. And there's a very strong sense here of it's not what people are saying, it's what are they doing. And whether that's you or someone else who may be saying one thing and doing another. But for Astra, action takes precedence over words. So, San, then Captain Lunar, then Dodek. So, for San, all right, for San, being sensitive to other people is important today. Being sensitive to other people is important today. Okay, so that's San, and then next is Captain Lunar, and then Dodek. Okay. I hope she's not thinking these are treats.
If she is, there's nothing I can do about it.
For Captain Lunar, tonight, express your gratitude to those who matter most. Tonight, express your gratitude to those who matter most. That's for Captain Lunar. Express your gratitude to those who matter most. And for Dodek. Dodek. Home is where your heart is. Home is where your heart is.
I hate it when that happens.
What?
You read a fortune and my mind added another line. Home is where your heart is. Your underwear is still at your friend's place.
Where in the world is that from?
I have no idea.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's another bit of weird intuition.
I've had a little bit of sleep, y'all. Forgive me.
Well, we should ask Dodek, guys, is your underwear, you're still at your friend's house? I hope not. Okay, well, let's go to Discord cookies. Now we're going to pick up with Katie Horton. And then for me, a cookie for both of us. Just one cookie? Hang on. Oh, Roma Blunt. Oh, hey, don't worry. It's okay. So I fell asleep. Hey, you know what? You might have needed the sleep.
Of course you fell asleep. You're rolling a blunt.
Okay. Oh, and sarcastic one for me from Aset too. Okay. Hold on. Sarcastic tip for the knowledge and driving test. Assume everyone else on the road is an idiot.
Yes, my dad used to say everyone else on the road is trying to kill you.
Right. Yeah. So actually, sarcastic here, not that far off from trucker dad's wisdom there. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Huh?
Brain. I just noticed something.
What, from up there or what?
No.
Something else? Okay. Well, you'll have to tell me later. It's okay, sweetie. We're in here. Yeah, it's funny. We're still kind of follow our voice, and we sort of play Marco Polo with her, and she actually does find her way to the little spot we have for her in front of the couch that way. It's really funny. But okay, so we'll start with Katie Horton and then B. And Katie, I wish I could put my arms around you. I understand, and how tough it is because I mean, that's what happened with our little girl Yotsuba right after Christmas.
Yeah, we know exactly where you are, honey.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah, and it's the hardest. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things in the world. But I think what helped was when our vet said, you did a very unselfish thing. So.
And I'm also going to tell you, your baby loved you enough to make sure that there's going to be a future.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be someone for you to love on. They'll see to it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Katie, let others help you. And this has an exclamation point at the end. So, Katie, let others help you. That was a pretty clear cut message.
That was direct.
Yes, it was. Just let others help you. So, Katie. And keep in mind that there was something last week about, trust in the support system you've built around you. It's time to call upon them, to help you out especially because you've got surgery coming up, uh, let some folks, pamper you a little bit. You've earned it, and you need it. So, okay, and B, one and one. Okay, this one's for you. If you need one for your partner that's separate, just let me know. I'm gonna fish out this one. Plan a surprise outing for your loved one. They'll cherish it. Plan a surprise outing for your loved one. They'll cherish it. And I'm immediately thinking, a celebratory thing after they get their license, but, you don't even have to wait that long. But plan a surprise outing for your loved one. They'll cherish it. Okay. Starscape P for me and my partner, please. And then Monkey Mind Thoughts from Sekhmet for advice on mental health. So, okay, but let's start with Starscape P. And I think you had tended to ask for one, like, from Anubis and one, from Sekhmet. But, all right, let's start with this one. A lot of them that are kind of falling back there. A trip to a foreign country will broaden your perspective on life. A trip to a foreign country will broaden your perspective on life. So, Starscape,
Let's just hope it's for a good reason, good situation.
Yeah, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, I don't know. I have to say, I did enjoy going to Canada when we did 20 years ago. That's funny. People ask why we voted for, why do you have all this stuff going on? And we had to say, no, we didn't vote for, Bush, but we kind of had, that was the situation at that point, so, probably would be something similar now. But aside from that, it was fun and it was interesting going to Canada, and, I would do it again.
Yes, I would like to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Starscape, and then
I was all about it.
Okay, and you want one for your partner, and then for Monkey Mind Thoughts. So tell you what, Starscape, let's get that one for your partner real quick, and then we'll do Monkey Mind Thoughts, and then we'll scroll down so we'll catch up with everybody, because I know I got several more to do. So, your partner, inner peace is found within. It's a treasure worth seeking. So, for your partner, inner peace is found within. It's a treasure worth seeking. All right. And for Monkey Mind Thoughts, asking from Mama Sekhmet. Okay. And by the way, that one's empty. But... Monkey Mind Thoughts, you got some voicemail. So, well, that's like, that's kind of a Buddhist reference with, the monkey mind. But, all right, your greatest victories are the ones you earn with integrity. Now, there's one more to this. You are a symbol of resilience and strength. Wow. Your greatest victories are the ones you earn with integrity. You are a symbol of resilience and strength.
Well, let's go together
So-
really well.
Keep being true to yourself is the sense that I'm getting from that. So monkey mind, keep being true to yourself, being honest with yourself, and good to yourself. And that's going to reflect outward. Your greatest victories are the ones you earn with integrity. You are a symbol of resilience and strength. So,
What was that old statement? To thine own self be true.
mm-hmm. And then it follows that thou canst not be false to any man. So, okay, Zabalin, and then Opal System from Horus. So, Zabalin. Okay. Your authenticity is your greatest strength. Zabalin, your authenticity is your greatest strength. And then Opal System asking from Horus. Value experiences over possessions. What is it, sweetie?
Wow.
Yes. Opal Systems value experiences over possessions. We're in here, sweetie. Come on, baby. Okay, Sarana, and then Mary Wepawet from the Jackals. So, Sarana. Yes, and
I'm gonna check on her.
yeah. Sending you love, Sarana, because I know you saw that said that you had an aunt who had passed. And be kind, and you'll find peace in your soul. So, Sarana, be kind, and you'll find peace in your soul. And from Mary Wepawet, asking from the Jackals. There we go. It's all right, baby. A special someone will enter your life in December. So, Married Wepawet, a special someone will enter your life in December. Now, they might be 2-footed or 4-footed. We don't know. Okay, and yes, thank you for the stickers, Zabalin. Oh, and Solemn Sun, howdy, howdy. Yes. Well, Indiana, she's not upset. She's just, she's hearing us, but part of it is the room that we're at is not quite as well lit, and so it's a little harder for her to find because she has cataracts in both eyes. So it's easier for her to find you in a lit room, and this one we've got the two, spotlights, but that's not enough for her to come and find us easily. But that's why she quacks, and if we answer, she'll follow our voice. Because that's the funny thing about birds and reptiles is they don't lose hearing as they age the way that us mammals do, and that's to their benefit. So that's why quack at us and we'll say polo, and that she knows we're out front. So
In our case, we lose both sight and hearing.
yeah. Mhm. Mm. Let's see. All right, I'm just trying to catch up with everything here. So we got one eye, and then Roma blunt, and then sarcastic. So we'll start with one eye. There we go. Mondays are a reminder that you have the power to shape your destiny. So one eye, Mondays are a reminder that you have the power to shape your destiny. And I think that was Set's message for us on his birthday too. So, and that might be where the message is coming from. But okay, next is Roma Blunt. Life's most memorable moments are often unforeseen. So Roma Blunt, life's most memorable moments are often unforeseen. All right, and now sarcastic is asking Aset. Mama Aset. Your dreams are within reach this July. So, hey, a year from now, there could be some things really come about. But your dreams are within reach this July. Although I have to admit, my brain keeps going to in July. And then Orson Welles explaining that doesn't make any sense. You have to look up the Orson Welles frozen peas thing on YouTube. It's audio, but it's hilarious. You just listen to the whole thing, and then suddenly you'll understand why in July is so funny. Okay, so Gary G from Aset, please. And then Solemn Sun, asking for one. Golly, the duck. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Opal System. You have a great weekend. Seneb T and Ujai. But okay, so Solemn Sun, Gary G and Solemn Sun. All right, and just to kind of keep us going, because it's been an hour and 8 minutes. If anybody else has any requests, just put those up before we wrap things up. We're going to get Gary G and then Solemn Sun. Oh, and try not to take out the drafting table in the process. Gary G, knowledge is power. It's very simple. Knowledge is power. And pair that with what we had today for everyone about your educational journey will be full of surprises and unexpected twists. And knowledge is power. So, I guess we're all getting a message to keep an open mind and be observant of things. But for Solemn Sun asking for Sutach, I guess he's sitting in the window throwing paper airplanes because we're honoring Isis and Horus tonight. But we'll let him slip in a message. Horus is there to tell him to behave himself. There we go. Your passion for sports will keep you young and full of vitality. Your passion for sports will keep you young and full of vitality. That's probably not referring to Madden football, but whatever it takes. Okay. Is there a specific name for divination from food? That's a good question because I know there's reading tea leaves. But that's a good one. Tyromancy from cheese, huh? And of course, you had hepatoscopy was reading the liver of a sacrificed animal, and the real masters of that were the Babylonians. The Babylonians actually made models of a sheep's liver that were more accurate than ones that were made in medieval Europe. Centuries later, they could really detail all the lobes and the things in a liver. But that was so that they could do omen reading from it. But that's what I know about that. But I'm not exactly going to go out and sacrifice sheep. So.
I believe I heard the Etruscans were very, very skilled at that as well.
Yeah, and that's probably where hepatoscopy comes from, because that comes from Latin, and they were probably referring to that. But yeah, the Babylonians had their own thing. They also would they had like entire books on of course you think cuneiform tablets, but treatises on divination. Like if you were and I think it was an Ashipu priest who was a doctor and going to treat someone, whatever you saw on the way would have been an omen that would have told you something, and they kept records of these things over many centuries. Like if you see a bird doing this or that, or whatever, then that meant something.
It's like going on a vision quest.
Yeah. But awesome. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. We shall make our offerings endure. And of course, if anyone else has any other requests, for prayers and for a fortune, just for a little bit of love and well wishes, you have that, anyway. But go ahead and put those up. That's sort of our last call as we wrap things up. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Yunu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great Enid, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Yunu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Yunu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Yunu endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Aset in Necheru endures. As the name of Sutef in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Khmenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Akhet endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Aset, O Horu. You have come in peace, O Yunachuru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra. May you go forth in peace, O Aset, O Horu, O Yunachuru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Yeah, when we go and have dinner, we'll tuck Indiana in her little crib, and she eats when we do. So we all have dinner together. She's very social about that. So. Okay. All right. Well, that's great. You are most welcome for the service. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and your participation is part of what makes this what it is. It wouldn't be much without you guys. So thank you for being a part of it, and we love you all, and we're glad you're a part of this with us. And so I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Of course, Senebti, that means may you be well, and that's popular in Kemetic circles, but Ujai is another way of saying it that comes from Coptic. So be healthy, be well. So that's why I wish Senebti and Ujai for everybody. So.
And of course, Ujai is directly related to Ujat.
Yes, Ujat. The sound I. So. Yeah.
But yes, everyone, it was nice having a service with you.
Yeah. So. Everyone have a great weekend. Oh, and I tell you what, there's one other thing. I mentioned it at the very beginning, and I'll just remind you, always check the links, that I have in the description, because that'll take you to things like the Kemetic Reform website, where we have the calendar and stuff like that. You can order the booklet, from, our services. But also, I include the link to my Zazzle page, which I spent this week kind of overhauling some things and putting some newer and better artwork up there, and a new collection. And I said, oh hey, let me make a new collection that's back to school with Toth, and so I've got like some notebooks and binders and stuff with some artwork of Jehuti, and stuff like that. So I've made some stuff that I'm like, oh hey, that'll be cool. I should get some of that for myself. But it's out there, and hopefully something that you like will be on there. And if you think of something, be like, hey, it'd be really cool if you could make something in particular, just tell me, and I'll be happy to put that up there. So.
Poor Darren, you sound exhausted.
Well, he's been keeping an eye on our little munchkin. All right. Yeah, and Is that a link? There we go. All right. Well, love you guys. And we'll. Well, you know what? That's a cool idea. And if y'all want to do that, then let me know. Oh, and by the way, I have been playing with a new program because I downloaded GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program, to my laptop, and I've been using that. And I like the fact that it's freeware. It's a little kludgier in some respects than Photoshop, but it's also not as hair trigger as Photoshop. Photoshop is one of those programs that kills the foolish and shelters the brave. And I'm learning to use GNU, the GIMP art, which is nice because that means I'd be able to work with other people. If I ever started an impoverished studio, we could use GIMP, and everybody be able to connect with each other and share and work on things. Because if you're not using the same program, you can't do that. So that's been fun. But since you mentioned other artists, really the main thing is I want to make sure that if there was revenue to be had, that it could be properly shared. Is the main thing. I don't believe in taking art from other people and not compensating them for that. That's not cool. But we'd have to hash that out. But in the meantime, thank you guys. We will see you next week.
But take care of yourself.